Chair. And it's extraordinary that we've got this motion here today, because on the 23rd of June 2016, we had a people's vote. And the people of the United Kingdom voted to leave the European Union. And before that vote, David Cameron's government sent a pamphlet through every letterbox of every household in the country saying, your decision is final, we will implement what you decide. And the decision of the British people was to leave. And it was very, very clear before the referendum and immediately after the referendum what Brexit meant. People on both sides who wanted either to leave or to remain said that leaving, or Brexit, meant leaving the European Union, leaving the single market, and leaving the customs union. That is what Brexit means. And in 2017, there was a general election, and both the Conservatives and UKIP and Labour all stood on manifestos that said, we will leave the European Union, the single market, and the customs union. And 85% of the country voted either for the Conservatives, UKIP or Labour on those manifesto promises that we would leave the EU, the single market and the customs union. So it's very, very clear what Brexit means. But unfortunately, a small number of rather loud people who were on the losing side decided that, well, we're not happy with this. We should overturn or try to overturn the democratic will of the British people and hand back control to Parliament, give Parliament a meaningful vote. And Parliament had a meaningful vote earlier this week, and Parliament, in its great wisdom, decided to overturn the absolutely dreadful withdrawal agreement that Theresa May had agreed with the European Union, which would have kept the United Kingdom shackled as a vassal state to the European Union, in a situation where we were less free and less prosperous than if we remained. Now the same people who are unhappy that Parliament's made that decision now want to have a second people's vote. But this is really overturning democracy, because we've already had a vote, and it's very clear what the right thing to do is, which is now to let the process which has been put in place in Parliament play out, because the MPs have rejected the withdrawal agreement, and what will happen now is we will sail out of the European Union on World Trade Organization terms on the 29th of March of this year. And we will sail into a wonderful world of freedom and prosperity, where we take back control of our sovereignty, we take back control of our laws, we take back control of our borders, and we end the mass, rapid, unsustainable immigration that we've had over the last 20 years. And we take back control of our agriculture. We take back control of our fishing grounds. And we take back control of our trade. And we will be free to make free trade agreements with all countries around the world. We'll trade with the European Union in the same way that we trade with the United States, in the same way that we trade with China, Australia and Canada. No deal is no problem. And I'm very, very much looking forward to leaving the European Union on World Trade Organization rules. Now, this motion calls either for withdrawing Article 50, a second referendum or a general election. Well, none of those things are likely to happen. So really, if this motion passes today, it has no substance, it has no legislative force. It's merely just a little bit of virtue signalling about something which we can really do nothing about as the London Assembly. But what we should do is get behind the people, the 17.4 million people in this country, in the greatest display of democracy in this country's history, voted to leave the European Union, and we should leave in full. Thank you very much.